So we on the set, right?
Yeah.
Jim Brown, OG. All right, we all young. We all like don't know Jim Brown personally yet, but he walk around saying, "Hey, how you doing, Kaz? You all right?" Like that hat. Like, what's up with OG? But he always saying some kind of smirky, but yo, Carmelo, I see you, man. Them glasses real, no problem. Like, what the fuck?
Always some slick comment.
He always saying some slick shit. You like, everybody kept saying, yo, what's up with JP, man? He really talking slick. So the big thing was playing chess.
Okay.
So he would sit down, you gonna make that move, nigga? You sure about that, queen? You sure about that? Out of here. This going on for like 2-3 weeks. So imagine we on the set. There are real football players on the set. They either was in the NFL, they played in college. They are real football players.
I think T.O. was one of them.
T.O. was one of them.
Yeah,
Antonio Freeman, Jaquez Green was there at the time. These are all the guys that I work with to work on my wide receiver stuff. The younger dudes don't know Jim Brown. I'm talking Florida boys, Liberty City. Hey, man, tell old OG, man, get the fuck on, bro. And everybody like, man, chill out. That's Jim Brown. I don't give a fuck if that's Jim Brown, bro. I don't know him like that, bro. Why you keep walking around here talking slick, nigga? I say, yo, man, that's James Brown. I mean, that's Jim Brown, man. He OG Hall of Fame, man. I don't give a fuck about all that, man. I'm gonna get off the chain on that nigga. Keep coming over here, right? So one day, I never forget it. It's so fucking funny, right? I wish I could remember the dude's name that I'm doing. Yeah. So he was like, hey, man, Florida State, baby, we run the thing. So you got Florida State, you got UM, they all talking shit about who got the national championship. They going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right. Jim ain't even in the conversation. Nobody even talking to him. He walk up, fuck all y'all. In my day, I run through all you little niggas. Ain't nothing y'all can do with this. He said, man, who the fuck is you, OG? Man, go ahead, man, with that bussy ass shit. That's how they talk, right? Gold teeth in his mouth and shit. He said, what you say to me, young man? Now imagine he got a kufi on. Yeah. He got a cutoff and some flip-flops because he got bad feet. He got a black cutoff. He got the black dusty cutoff. It's not even new. He cut it himself. It's jagged. So he said, what you say, Nick? He said, oh, you heard me, young boy. You get up under this. He picked Jim Brown up in the air and body slammed Jim Brown on the ground. He said, man, I was just playing with you, nigga. This dude got bum rushed off that football field so fast. We never saw him again. Oh, man. I don't know what happened, but he body slammed Jim Brown.
Bro, he can't body slam the Hall of Fame.
Man, he OG. Let him talk.
You know the Florida football players, they ain't wound up too tight. The funny
part was Jim Brown was looking for his kufi because he was like, one flip-flop was over there. He was discombobulated. I was like, yo, now that's a true story. It's really, rest in peace, man.
What was it like being on the set with all of those personalities?
Because, Any Given Sunday was so crazy because you got to imagine, we got all the veterans. You got Al Pacino. You got Cameron Diaz. Legendary. You got James Woods. And then you have the next tier of up-and-coming guys. You got me, LL, and Jamie. So we're like the culture part of it, the younger part. You got the people that like are the big Hollywood studio kind of actors and actresses.
And you got Lawrence Taylor.
And then you got LT. Now, we didn't even know where he was. LT, they was like, yo, he gonna be here at some point. They couldn't find LT. They had, you want to hear another story?
Yeah, please.
Michael Clark Duncan was playing the role first because they couldn't find LT.
Rest in peace, man.
Well, they couldn't, rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan was playing the role at first. And I don't know if you could imagine how big Michael Clark, coffee like to drink.
Right.
Mike was so intimidating and so big. And so when he came in, at first he was getting a tryout and it was kind of locked in. He tore his pec muscle.
Damn.
I didn't even know you could tear this. He tore his pec muscle and he was like, I don't think I'm prepared to do this shit no more. Everybody's like, Mike, what's wrong? I think I tore my pec, baby. God damn it. Off the boat. Because I think Mike was on them steroids. You know what I'm saying?
Man. He was big as hell, yo.
Off the boat. I remember him saying, it's off the boat. So
how LT coming? So LT just...
I don't know how they found him, man. They found LT on a golf course somewhere. He showed up. He was like, hey, man, y'all need me in this movie. We was like, hell yeah, what's up? He came in, got to work. Rest was history, but they couldn't find him.
Man, that's one of the most legendary sports movies of all time. To this day.
Yeah. I know you're going to ask me about Jamie and them.
I mean, come on, man. It's a legendary story at this point.
It is.
Jamie and LL. And
this is why the fight happened. Machismo. You know what I'm saying? Alpha dog. Nobody's going to back down. Everybody cracking jokes. And sometimes jokes go too far, right? And the worst thing you could do is try to crack jokes with a comedian.
Yeah.
Because we got rapid fire. You might be like Pat, and you wear brrr, brrr, you know what I mean? And so L was, yo, chill out, man. What's going on? You know what I mean? He always lick his lips. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Jamie, real talk, man. Ease up with the jokes. And I was like, I tried to tell Jamie, I said, Jamie, that's your last jokey joke. Todd is getting serious. He was like, yo, man, real talk. I'm just being for real with you, man. Better ease up with all that. And then he's so diesel.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think Jamie gonna make this. It's not gonna work. Kept messing with him. The joke that I think really, really set Todd L.L. Smith off. I will never forget this. He said, what sport did you play in high school? And he was like, He said, you was coming to see me in high school, fam.
Yeah.
You know when they bite their bottom lip? I said, that's it. That's the last jokey joke, Jamie. Yo, you better start picking on somebody else because he done. He tapped out. Tapped out.
Jokes is over at this point.
Yeah, because it got personal, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you was coming to see me. I've been famous since I was 12, nigga. Ha! I said, oh shit, this is going left. And so that energy, which was good for the movie, because that was like the energy of the character. So that actually was working.
Yeah.
But it got tight.
It got too far.
And the thing about it, when Jamie tells the story, and when L, they don't ever tell the story that I was standing right there. I'm right here, watching it happen. And so back then we didn't have no social media and stuff. So it was one of those stories that kept traveling. Like, yo, did you hear? Because you imagine if we had social media back then, that would have been the most viral. Because it was real ugly situation. It got bad. But here's the fight. So they had a fight real quick. It was a quick little pop. Jamie's knocked out, so it's done. So
okay.
But the funniest part to me was the camps afterwards. So L called everybody from New York. We had every Timberland, Yankee hat, 8-ball jacket down there in Miami. They got the 8-ball jacket still on. They burning up. Nobody got on flip-flops. They got on the white sneakers. They got on the white socks with the Timbs with the long shorts. Yeah. He got 30 cats around his trailer. Jamie got 3. They look like 3 R&B dudes. Yo, the tension on the set from that fight was so crazy. Like, we didn't know. We stopped production.
Right.
We didn't know what was going to happen. And so Jamie had his tongue got cut because he bit his tongue. So he had to go to the hospital, blah, 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 right? But we still got to shoot more scenes, but we don't know. Are they going to be able to get past the fight and still do the rest of the movie and everything? So now my trailer is in the middle. Why was my trailer always in the middle, right? So you got 30 of New York's grimiest, realest, I'm talking.
Of course, yeah.
Mr. Smith made the call. That trailer was thick. Yeah. This trailer was like, they're going to sing an album. Right? I was like, Jamie got to call some people from Texas, somebody get some more heavy weighters down here because this don't look right? So all of a sudden I'm sitting in my trailer. Boom, 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 boom. Here go Jim Brown. What is these niggas doing, man? You in the midst of this shit, Mr. Bellamy. I said, nah, man. I said, man, we had a little fight situation. It's kind of tight. I'm calling the meet. Tell Todd to come in. Tell Jamie to come in, man. We ain't doing this. Tell Todd, come in. Whatever, right? So I go bang on. I'm like, yo, Al, Jim calling the meeting. For what, man? I'm good, man. Real talk. I don't need nothing, man. I ain't nothing to talk about. I said, yo, I think we gotta do this one. Cause he Black Panther.
Of course.
OG got, he shot Carl, he brought the Crips and the Bloods together. He gonna bring them together, right? So I go get Jamie, I go boom, boom, boom. Yo, Jay, man, Jim Brown calling a meeting in my trailer, man. He want us to fix it, man. We young Black guys on this set, we looking crazy, cause that's what he was saying.
Of course.
So he goes, listen, man, I don't know if you guys like each other or not. I don't give a fuck. But we gonna finish this movie like kings, like gentlemen, you understand? We gonna put our deficits down because we looking crazy out here. Do you know how many pioneers came here to make this, that, and the other in Hollywood for you? You know, I was the first motherfucker to kiss a white bitch. You hear me? Swear to God. I'm not making this up.
Right there.
No, that's a fact.
No, it's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
He said, I broke through barriers for y'all and y'all gonna sit up here and fight and do all this and embarrass the culture and nothing. And they was like, yeah, whatever. You right. And everybody was like, all right, let's go out here and make this movie. And then it was over. Jim Brown, that happened in my trip.
Man, shout out Jim Brown,
I never told about that story.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Right in the middle.
Jim Brown was right, though.
Leaving the cast to bring up some shit.
Jim Brown, he was right. He broke those barriers.
Yeah,
though.
but he did.
Yeah.
He got in trouble over that too.
Yeah.
He was the first in a lot of. Jim Brown
you
was
want to be the first one
as
through
an
that
athlete,
door.
As an athlete, like to
social
cross
activist.
over like that.
Yep.
No, but he was that type of a guy though. You know what I mean? He was a real one. Like
legendary.
Just think, Jim Brown was the first to do a lot of stuff.
Of course.
And just imagine how he felt. That's why everybody was kind of like, oh, we didn't think of it that way. People was in their feelings. But the way he painted the picture, that made us realize that what we're doing is important and we're looking crazy on this
back a little bit.
$70 million movie doing this street stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was a pioneer. He was a pioneer who broke down them doors.
Exactly. So that was a good thing.
Oh, that just adds to the lore of Any Given Sunday, though, because you could feel the tension in the movie. Like, you could feel...
Yo, it was real.
Yeah, like any football... I think that's why the movie felt so real. Like, anytime you watch it, like, you could still sort of, like, remember, like, that mid-90s energy of, like, football around that era. Where
and at that time, nobody could... That was the closest movie to give you the insight of what it was like to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There wasn't really any other movie that was so gritty and brought you into the life of the wives and the drugs and the tension and the you getting cut or you're trying to stay on the team and the doctors won't give you the money. Or you playing hurt.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah, it felt dramatic, but like now we look back at it and it's like we know so much about the game and just through social media and everything. It's like, oh man, like to tell that story back then, like
that was Hard Knocks.
Correct.
As a movie.
Yeah.